A person wants to enclose a rectangular field with four internal partitions as shown. Now you might have two, three, four, five, six, seven, something like that. I've got four. If there is 12,100 feet available for fencing, what dimensions will produce the greatest area? Note that internal partitions also require fencing. So what greatest area? Well, it says down here, width is W and the length is L. Okay. And total area in terms of W is there. Now we found that in an earlier part and another question where we did the setup. So now we're going to do the conclusion. So once we have this area formula in terms of W only, let's produce the greatest area. So how are we going to do the greatest area? We're going to have to take the derivative of the area function set it equal to 0. So let's bring it up here. What I'm going to rewrite the area function to make it ready for a derivative. What am I going to do? I'm going to distribute the W and then I'm going to cut that in half. What's half of 12,000? 6,000. Half of 100 is 50. 6,050 W minus, and then this is going to be 5 over 2, which is a 2.5 W squared. So I just distributed the W, made some decimals, half of $5, 250 W squared. Okay, and now let's take the derivative and set it equal to 0. So this would be 6,050. No, not W. 1 power comes down, subtract 1, it's gone, as you know. Bring the 2 down, minus, that's 5. W to the 1, subtract 1 to the power. And what? Set it equal to 0. Take the derivative, set it equal to 0, because that's where you find the peaks and the valleys, the maxes and the mins. All right, let's grab this guy and jump it over. This is looking pretty easy to solve. And then divide by 5. Boom. What's that? 1210, is that what it is? Yeah, 1210. W is 1210 feet. So they should make this 1210. That's how many that's what the width should be. And that's in order to again find the greatest area. And then final question, what's the length? What should the length be? How are we going to find that? Like, what are we going to do to find the length? Well, we can do the 12,100 feet of fencing, right? So the fencing, oops, space there. Fencing. How do you do the fencing? Well, it's a width, two, three, four, 5 widths plus 2 lengths, right? The length and the length. That's all the fencing. 5 widths and 2 lengths. And that has to equal, what did they say? How many feet of fencing? 12,100 feet available for fencing. 12,100. Okay. So now grab that W value and pop it in right there. 5 times 1210 plus 2L is 12,100. So what's that? 60, 50 when you multiply those, I think. Plus 2L is 12,100. Subtract 60, 50. Boom. So we get 2L. And I think that is just 60, 50 again, coincidentally. And then divide by 2. Boom. The length has to be 3,025. Is that what they said? That's what they said. There we go. So we found what we're able to do very practically. We are given, say you want, you get this much fencing. You got to make what, 3, 4 zones for animals or inventory or whatever. And you want to make the greatest area you possibly can for the animals or the inventory. How should you set up the thing? Well, you should make it 1210 by 3025. 1210, and this should be 3025. That's how you should make it, just to have the greatest area possible. Very practical question, how they build things. And there we go.